And maybe it's just the trials and tribulations of working together in a team and sometimes a stressful environment that helps them grow. What's up, people? I thought this would be a fantastic review on the Genius Garage Lykan Hypersport build. There's been a lot of videos showcasing this from stage one when it was just an idea and concept with myself and Ed Bolian from VinWiki, all the way up to where it is now, getting ready for paint, and even when all the work and all the dreams of all the students and people supporting this project came to fruition, and actually getting to see the car under speed at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course doing very, very well. So this 10 or 15 minute video, I don't know what it's gonna be because this is a one-take wonder, as are all of my videos. I just wanted to use my platform, the Putsch YouTube channel, yes, that's weird to speak in third person, to highlight more of what it is with regard to Genius Garage. So this idea really came about a long time ago with Ed Bolian from VinWiki. And he mentioned to me, you know, racing is a fantastic way to showcase the teamwork and the engineering, which is Genius Garage. But something that everybody could potentially relate to is a project and building a car, something that relates to the nature of the racing world, the exotic car world, and all of the engineering and excitement that goes into it. Then, of course, there is the other aspect of just how profoundly powerful exotic cars are on media, which naturally will help get positive exposure for Genius Garage for the future of the program. So Ed was able to acquire the Lykan Hypersport body, or shall we say the body that was used in the Fast and the Furious live show and was a stunt car body. The body there is the only full body in the world that is not part of one of the original W Motors Lykan Hypersports that had come from the original molds. Now, as the engineers from W Motors will kindly point out, there are a number of features on it that weren't exactly from the original molds. And of course, this one is made out of glass fiber rather than carbon fiber, but it is the correct thing. And it does have a neat history with regard to all of that. So the beauty of this, shall we say, canvas or starting point is the opportunity for the students to develop a car. And I mentioned, of course, that I've been in contact with the people at W Motors. They were very kind and reached out to me and Genius Garage and actually offered assistance with regard to what their students were doing. And of course, the nature of everything going on with the build. And the thing that I enjoyed so much about that, beyond just the fact that they were kind and helpful, and actually their engineer gave us some great pieces of wisdom and help in guiding us down the road for the nature of how the sophisticated doors open. They mentioned that this car is our opportunity to develop our own platform and take that down a direction that they weren't able to go with their original cars. Now, by no means am I saying that as what we did was in any way better, just that it was in some ways different, very similar in nature, using high-end Porsche aspects for the build. For instance, the entirety from forward of the dashboard with regard to the suspension and the unibody structure and such is identical to what was utilized on the original Hypersports, and that's Porsche. The same things you'd find in the 2000s Porsche Boxers and Porsche 911s. Now, of course, our car differed largely in the rear. The composites were different at the body, and there's a lot of things. But we took it with the students of a direction of being more a super leggera, like a lighter weight track version. And as you see it now, it's ready for paint. But from the beginning of the process, it was obviously very exciting to be able to acquire the body from Ed at VinWiki. It was the opportunity to showcase that, get a lot of people excited about what Genius Garage is and was, as well as the students to highlight what their builds were and their capabilities. One of our prime guys who was an MVP with regard to fabrication and actually really his work ethic this year, got a fantastic job doing restorations and fabrication work on pre-war cars. Amazing things like Bentleys and Delahaye's and Millers and things like that. And he's going to get to learn foundry work and casting and high-end machining of engines and stuff. So it's really exciting to see where he's going in regard to that. And so many of those students being undergrads and just seeing how it's affected their lives and the ability to have the exposure through VinWiki, as well as what I've been able to do with my own channel just to showcase everything going on. Since obviously me being the prime mentor, here, it's an opportunity that I can utilize what I have for social media as a positive way to showcase the students, even if it, frankly, doesn't get as good views as maybe more of my normal things. But the Lykan Hypersport, of course, started off with a body. It was rough and tumble and a raggedy piece of junk disaster that was secondhand leftover garbage from a stunt show. And that is the nicest way I can say it was a big piece of junk. In fact, David Patterson, better known as that dude in blue, visited at Bullion's house when it was just the body on the rolling chassis. And it was funny to me because when I saw the body as a fabricator and builder and engineer type, I saw what was possible. And for David being a car enthusiast, he saw what a mess it was. So that was fun. If you want to check out David's video, that dude in blue, on it. But it's come such a long way, and what is special about the build is basically the dream. The dream of everybody, car enthusiasts, the dream of fabricators, the dream of drivers, just the dream of man, shall we say. And I mean that of mankind, for all you 2020 PC people. And that's what's so special about engineering. And that's what's so special about Genius Garage. It's the opportunity to do something great where the possibility wouldn't have existed otherwise. And that theme is what goes all through life and highlights the best aspects of mankind and our accomplishments, whether that's exploration, invention, art, etc. But getting down to the brass tacks of what it was, early in the year, it was a junky glass fiber body on a rolling chassis that was in no way usable to make anything other than the giant pneumatic powered Hot Wheels car cannon it was in the stunt show. And then we put just a Porsche Boxster, and I'm trying to remember what the heck year it was. Late 2000, I think it was 2007, 2008. Anyway, it had the 3.4 liter naturally aspirated flat six in it, mid-engine configuration, which was about the biggest displacement Boxster motor we could get with a 6-speed. For the best value. And that would be the basis for us to completely dismantle and chop to bits in utilizing those key components for building what would be the car behind us. That it would be fitting and within the general family of what W Motors created, and of course in a high-end way. And it's fascinating because when we look at the history of the automobile and new companies and designs, so much of what happens is not created completely from scratch. It utilizes components and things that already existed. How many cars can you think of, supercars, that utilize their engine and drivetrain from another company, or suspension components or parts of body, etc.? Or maybe something in the case of like Zagato being a coach builder, which takes fabulous sports cars and basically rebodies them to make them of their own art style. So it's interesting how that all works. But regarding the Boxster, there were people that, trolls really, goober trolls that really have no concept of what's going into it and just like to be negative, of saying basically you just put a body on a Boxster or Porsche. That is really unfair and simply untrue. While you could say that in a construct in your mind, we didn't spend months and loads of manpower just putting a body on a car that already existed. So obviously the wheelbase has changed greatly. The entirety of the structure of the chassis and what that is has changed greatly. And so wonderfully, that chassis, in driving it, I realize now with what we were able to create here at Genius Garage in the final product, that you would be able to throw at almost any amount of horsepower you want at it, and large brakes and the chassis would handle it in spades. So that's really where the huge amount of engineering comes from. And then starting from a starting point of Porsche original suspension and the brake systems and all, and integrating that into something new. And that's where the value for Genius Garage and the students and the team come from. Because there are no directions. There is a goal, a common goal for a team, and there are the constraints. What do we have for resources? What do we have for time? What do we have for tools? What do we have for money to do the build with? And how do we best get to where we want to go? Well, of course, this is 2020, and the nature of the COVID pandemic hit, which changed a lot of things. It shut down the SEMA show. That's something we wanted to go to, and it shut down virtually every show and racing opportunity we could ever want to go to, and frankly made things more difficult with potential corporate and business sponsors and supporters for the build. But based upon what the students had at hand to be able to do this, it's just so incredible what Genius Garage and everybody was able to accomplish together. Which I have to say, the purpose of Genius Garage is not to build cars. The purpose of Genius Garage is to build young people. It's to let them realize confidently through growth the person and the engineer and the fabricator they're going to be. Genius Garage provides the environment that the traditional academic setting simply cannot. So it's just been a profoundly awesome success, even in spite of all the difficulties with 2020. And I wanted to make this video now just to showcase and kind of bring it to the heart as to what's happened, because it has profoundly impacted and bettered the students in so many lives. Well, obviously you get the benefit of the students that have an opportunity that they simply would never have in school or elsewhere. So students are getting jobs, they're getting new opportunities through school, and maybe it's just the trials and tribulations of working together in a team and sometimes a stressful environment that helps them grow. And those realizations and those values aren't always necessarily realized immediately. They're realized later. It's something about planting the seeds of trees that you'll never get to see. And that's what's so special about it. But the car right now is stripped down a bit more, and it looks kind of plain and basic and unfinished, because it is. It's going to paint here very shortly. And then of course the finishing touches will be for the platform with which it is. And there are, and this is the interesting too, there are a bunch of people who want to buy it, actually, that have been reaching out since the earlier part of the year, and I'm like, hold on, we're doing a program here, let's talk again. So I'm not sure what the fate will be or where it will go. I do know that we'll be continuing to finish it at Genius Garage and bettering lives, and we shall see. But it's been a fantastic year and a fantastic opportunity, and of course a huge thanks to Ed Bowling at VinWiki for thinking of this. Of course we had to pony up to be able to acquire the body and the opportunity for Genius Garage, but I am very excited at what it's accomplished. And I guess the final thought is this: Genius Garage directly affects a small amount of students, the ones that are able to be here as part of the team. But in creating my own YouTube channel and learning about the ability to connect with so many tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions of people through my own adventures and builds and things like that, I was also able to utilize that to showcase the students, to interview them, to show them what's going on. And I didn't do that because that was the best content, frankly, for my channel. I did it because it was the most powerful way to show these young people what they're capable of. It was the most powerful way for people to want to hire them. And that's been amazing. And the thing that's so amazing about being able to share what we've done with the world is the thousands of people that this has inspired who've gotten to watch it. And while Genius Garage, myself, and others won't directly get to help and mentor and support all those thousands of people that it's inspired and changed the lives of, and push them to be better, to grow, to learn, to build, it's done just that. So it's a fascinating thing to be able to look back now at a build in this video that I just wanted to showcase as a sum up of what we've done. But it's so much more powerful what it's done as an ideal, as a project, and what that's meant to people. Frankly, the car, it's a very nice car. It's a very special car. It's got a lot of history. But that pales in comparison to the value of what the build and the project in Genius Garage has meant. So here's to the future and what that can bring. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this Lykan Hypersport build with the Genius Garage students. Obviously, I want to send a personal thanks to everybody at W Motors for being kind and supportive and reaching out, and naturally to Ed Bowling at VinWiki. Other ones like Soul Performance Exhaust, fantastic exhaust for your exotic cars, they provided for that, as well as Coil Over Depot for providing the shocks. Naturally, all of the Genius Garage supporters, and to all of you, so many people out there that have watched this channel that have taken upon yourself to find Genius Garage as the nonprofit 501c3 public educational charity that it is. It's a long title. And reach out and actually donate something. Whether it's small or large, it has a profound impact on what we're able to do with the students. And it's been an incredibly meaningful year to so many young people, and I think bettered the future just through building a car. Appreciate you guys watching. Come back for the finished results. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and naturally that you will subscribe, but please click that bell so I can continue to bring you wholesome and entertaining automotive content. Also, a huge thanks to Avalon King ceramic coating. They're supporting this channel and making this all possible. But more importantly, I'm looking forward to using it on all of my vehicles, including my old dirt bike. Ceramic coating bonds directly to the surface of your paint, trim, and plastics to give a long-lasting shine that beats all waxes. It lasts for years and it's easy to maintain. I've got it on my Viper right now, and my car has never looked this good. So give them a try. Again, thanks for watching, and I look forward to see you next time.